Okay, everyone is thinking about, at least in my world, thinking about North Carolina. I know the media has been talking about it, some more than others. Chris is joining us now. Where exactly are you at in North Carolina?
I'm in Hendersonville, North Carolina. It's about 17 miles southeast of Asheville.
Okay, was that in the lay of the land? I used to live in North Carolina, but where I lived, it was flat by the beach. You're living in the mountainous areas. Are you more of? Are you is your home on a higher elevation or?
The elevation at my residence is 2,380 feet. I live on a hill above the road that leads into my development, so I'm above the water. I mean, the road got a lot of water across it, but it wasn't anywhere near my house. But the low-lying areas in the county, just down the road, the back roads around my house, when I came home, I left work at 5:30 the day of the hurricane, a.m. And it was coming down in buckets. It was raining sideways. It was raining from the ground up. It felt like. It took me 7 hours to actually reach it to my house because the main road coming in, I got a mile from the house, there was a tree down. Tried to take the back roads. Water covered three of the four paths I could have taken. A tree was blocking the other, so I backtracked. A tree had blocked me in. And then,
Wow.
luckily, there was a church and I parked next to it to shield myself from the wind. And then I realized there was a very large oak tree behind me, and the wind was strong enough that I saw shingles coming off. So I pulled over on the other side of the church, faced the wind, and rode it out.
Wow. So just everything we're seeing on TV and pictures, is it is what's it like there? Seeing the worst parts? What just explain. It's nothing unlike I've covered hurricanes when I was in Wilmington, but nothing like that is happening there. What are you seeing?
This looks like a war zone. That's the best way to describe it. Total destruction. Power poles just snapped in half. Trees fall on the lines, pull the poles down. A lot of them were brand new along my road, but they quickly got the majority of the main thoroughfares cleared up with their power. But it's getting back into the woods. It's so remote. My county is on the edge of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're on the ridge before you go down to South Carolina.
Okay.
You get up into Asheville and points north up into Madison, Mitchell, and Yancey counties, and there are so many remote communities up there. I've seen the footage. Landslides. I saw on the press briefing today that there's now 339 known landslides that
Wow.
some of them I've not been able to get to. It's all reported in by pilots and satellite footage.
So are
You
there
can't get
still
anywhere.
yeah,
That's
are
the
there
problem.
still people possibly in homes that haven't been rescued or people that can't leave? Is that still a possibility?
Yeah, there are people unaccounted for that live way back in the hills, for their own reasons. I don't know. They just want their privacy, but they
I
build
don't blame them.
houses everywhere around here. If
I
there's
don't
a
blame
way
them.
to get there, they'll put a house there.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't blame them whatsoever. It's good just to get away from it all.
right.
Absolutely.
The
Um,
the only main link we have is I-40 and I-26, and both are cut off to Tennessee now. So that's going to affect shipping across country from the coast. So they're going to have to go south, or they're going to have to go north of us to get around that.
okay, yeah, I know I-40 very well, and very busy. So what's it like now? Are things? I mean, not obviously not back to normal since there's still people that are unaccounted for. I assume. Is it just what's it like now being there?
It's kind of surreal. I just came back from the Walmart, and they have half their parking lot is distribution for water. There's the barbecue relief people. They're over there giving out meals every day. Um, there's a church down the road that I've been volunteering at with my daughter and handing out meals to people, getting them their basic supplies. But I go to work and it's like nothing happened. I drive the highway and I can see off to the side that there's trees down. There's still places without power. Um, Even there's still people. 30,000 as of yesterday still were without power, and then the water system up in Asheville is only at like half capacity. And they're
Wow.
they're working this weekend. They're going to try to get the particles in the reservoir to dissipate, or they're going to put some flocculant in there, I guess they called it, and let them sink so that they can start drawing water from that reservoir and then testing and pressurizing the system as it goes towards Asheville. They're going to work from east to west. But the need is still great. And you asked me earlier before we started what the best thing people can do for this
Yeah,
area.
like I have, sorry to interrupt. I have people I know personally that would like to go down and help. And I know there needs to be coordination and so forth. So someone here in Michigan or in Indiana or Pennsylvania, they shouldn't just get in their car and drive, or maybe they should. What should they do before they come down?
Get in touch with the United Way. They're coordinating efforts, volunteer efforts, or if they contact an organization like Samaritan's Purse. That is a local homegrown, started by Franklin Graham, the son of Billy Graham,
Yep.
whose residence and center is in Black Mountain or Montreat, between Asheville and Black
I
Mountain.
hear great things about them. I hear great things.
I've started a Give, Send, Go to raise money with the a group of friends I have here on Twitter X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We've raised in less than a week now, or today will be a week, $1,335.
Okay,
And
I'll put
that's
that link. I'll have you send me that link. I'll put it in the comments, and I put this everywhere. So to help. So okay, so people, if you're headed down, don't just show up. Coordinate, get involved. When this happened, and there's been a lot of controversy involving this, did the state and the U.S. government, did they properly respond to everything or no?
I still have not seen a FEMA agent. And I've been all over town, all over the county, and up into Asheville. I've been told that they're there. Or I think the site in Asheville is now at the AC Reynolds High School, and they're open from like 8 till 7 through tomorrow. I get my usually get my news from the press conference every day, and they tell you where the sites are to go and check in. But they're telling people, get on the internet and go to disasterassistance.gov. Well, we didn't have internet. I didn't have it for 11 days, and there's still people without it. The cell system here, maybe this will inspire them to put in some backup generators at the towers, because even when power was restored, I couldn't get any, hardly any signal. I had to drive down to the end of the road at the interstate or go over to Walmart where I could get a decent signal.
Yeah, so that's why I heard Elon Musk did that Starlink thing. So do you know anyone who've used that at all?
I don't personally know, but they started with 2 in downtown Asheville, and then several ex-personalities brought in a whole bunch of them. The Cajun Navy brought 40 with them.
Oh, wow. Wow.
They have moved. They have made their way, as far as I know, they've gotten up to Burnsville and are heading towards Spruce Pine, going up into the woods and following the roads to see if they can cut people out. And that's what I did after I got home that day. Is I got my chainsaw, my gas, and my oil, and put it in the trunk of my car, and I went down the road. And sure enough, there's a tree down, so I started cutting tree. Stayed away from the power lines, but I made access, that at least one lane could be opened.
How amazing is that? And I'm going to play a video right now I just found on Facebook. A random person making a walkway to help people get around. Hold on, let me bring up the video. There it is. How great is it? It seems like people like you, people like others, you're all getting involved. Is that what's happening?
Yes, the community has come together. We don't care who we're voting for. It is about survival now. Nobody's coming to rescue us. We have to do it ourselves. And that's, I've lived here in the Southern Appalachians for 25 years. I come from Northern Appalachia originally, but I've lived up and down these mountains all my life. And people are different here. They're strong. They will come together and make things happen for their fellow man, their neighbors.
I mean, and that's great. And that's how I've been a lot of part of tragedies and so forth. But it sounds like that's what your community was before this happened. You had good neighbors. You had good people.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we have the most incredible people around here. People give the shirt off their back if you needed it.
So you said no one's coming to rescue you. In a way, they should. I mean, help. Has North Carolina been any better? The state itself?
Um, I honestly can't say I've seen any state personnel. I mean, the Division of Highways is working their way. I'm sure you've heard of Chimney Rock, that
Yes, yes.
village that was wiped out. They are dump truck after dump truck is going down there to help rebuild a road, and they're trying to put the river back in its original bed so that they can get access down into that area. I've not gone down there myself because they say stay out. It's way too dangerous for
Yeah.
civilians to be down in there.
I found another video. You see so many of these videos, random people just helping. That's what it's all about, and that's what my dad always told me. Don't let the government, don't rely on government or good people. And you're seeing this all over. This has to be a little inspiring that we do have good people, no matter if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's all about being a good person.
Yep, it is, and that's these people. I mean, my daughter and I drove up to the church where they were handing out stuff, and they came up to the car and they said, "Well, can we get you?" And I said, "We want to help." And they said, "Park over there, grab a T-shirt, and help unload these trucks." And that's what we
Wow.
did. We sorted food, we sorted supplies, made up boxes for families and for individuals, and they set up a chow line where they just brought in tins of different kinds of food, set up an assembly line. Somebody brought the trays out, and they just slid the tray, threw in some food, and sent it down to the next person. And they just bagged them up and stuck them out front, and the volunteers would run up to the cars, see how many meals they needed, and they'd call it out, and somebody'd run them right out their meals.
Yeah, is it? And the last question about this, but in I don't believe it's politics. It's I think we all need to hold our government accountable. You said that you have been. How many days has it been now? I've lost count since the hurricane.
16.
Okay, so it has been 16 days since the hurricane hit. You personally have not seen anyone from FEMA, and you are right in the thick of it.
I am. My county was not as hard hit in my area because, like I said, we're right on the edge of the mountains. So we don't, unless you go over to the eastern side of the county and head north, you don't have as many hills
Okay.
or peaks. But there are a lot of low-lying areas and streams. The Mud Creek at the south end of Hendersonville always floods, and it didn't help that we got 9 inches of rain Wednesday into Thursday before the
Yeah.
hurricane came. It was torrential rain, and they'd already flooded.
How important is it for there is a lot of the and there's a lot of wrong information getting out there, and it's important just to stick to the real information because that the real information is bad enough about what's happening, and when people try to just put stuff out there to get shocks and whatever, that it's not good, right? It hurts everybody.
It does hurt everybody, and if I see something on Twitter or Facebook that's untrue, I'll call them out and community note them if I have to, and or just send them a DM and let them know that hey, this information is untrue. They're talking about somebody keeps posting that they ordered 10,000 body bags. The death toll is going to get higher. I think yesterday the total was 92 officially. There's still a lot of places they can't get, and people that are still missing. That the death toll is going to get higher. But the outpouring of support with civilian pilots, the Cajun Navy coming up here, Samaritan's Purse, always first on scene, and I'm sure they're down in Florida helping people down there too. The linemen, I want to give a special shout out to the linemen that have been working 24/7 for the last 2.5 weeks to bring power back and some normalcy. It's incredible the work they do.
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, there are going to be more bodies uncovered, but not 10,000 more. That's a lot of sometimes you hear a little fact and someone just takes it off just to get their social media pages going, and that's not what it's about because like you said, it's bad as it is, and that just makes it worse for everyone down there. So hopefully, I do like, on X and Twitter, I believe in free speech, but I also believe in people like you calling out the wrong stuff. That's what it should be.
Right. Yeah, we have to police ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, so this is not going to be as I have known my 25 years when I worked in the media is going to go away, the TV stations will go away, but things will still be happening. This is going to be a cleanup and a recovery for what months,
Years.
years?
Years. The rebuilding of the infrastructure is probably going to take. I believe the emergency coordinators have said this is something that will take years to fully recover from. Like I said, the infrastructure out here in the backwoods where I live, everything's above ground, and it's not feasible to bury everything because of the terrain.
Yeah.
And it's just a fact of life that when you get a storm, you're going to lose power. We were completely unprepared for this. Everything went down, and when stores did reopen, they could only take cash. So those of us that thought ahead, we keep a little spending cash under the mattress or in the gun safe or wherever. And I got by. My family, I was in contact with them until I finally returned home. Very spotty, but I was able to get a couple messages out to at least let them know that I was okay. We all gathered at my son's. They live next to each other. We gathered there, and then I discovered I got power on Monday morning afterwards, so we all moved over here.
Gotcha.
And we roughed it, but
Yeah.
I had electricity so we could cook.
Given that this is going to be going on for years, I know you always said you take care of yourself, but this is something the lawmakers, Congress, your governor, they need to remember that this is going to be a long-term process. They are the ones that should not forget about it.
Exactly. And if they do, we will call them out. It's it's tragic what's happened here, but the people of this region, they're incredible. I mean, and all the volunteers that have come in, and if people want to help this area, if they want to come down, coordinate with one of the agencies that's here, like United Way, Samaritan's Purse, but don't send pallets of water. They only have a certain shelf life. Storage is at a premium. There's only so much space to house this stuff, and so many places to park the trucks that hold all this stuff. The best thing they can do is donate to Samaritan's Purse, United Way, Salvation Army, American Red Cross. I just saw them. They had a couple tents set up down at the Walmart handing out supplies.
Gotcha.
But the fundraiser that I have started, we're playing trivia for funds on Twitter.
Nice.
It's on Give Send Go, and like I said, I'll give you a link after this is over, and you can post that for me if you would.
Yeah, I'll put it out there. But I thank you for joining. Keep up the great work.